G'day guys, welcome back to another video here with Eno from Fantasy Take TV. Today we'll be looking at my final team selection for the World Cup Fantasy, of course subject to change. As always, there is a rolling lockout and you can make 2 transfers, I believe, after the first game. Still, unlimited per se, or they won't cost you during match day 1. So it's rolling lockout, but in a sense it's not full rolling lockout, so you can't just keep changing all your team. Only 2 transfers, I believe. But look, there's been a lot of conjecture around the rules. A lot of misunderstanding. I didn't fully understand them myself, which sort of made me lose a little bit of interest. I will be perfectly honest. I will still be playing it. I will still have a crack, but I won't be caring too much, just because there's word that you can use your wild card match day 2 and sort of, in essence, before the last game of match day 2, trade all your locked players out for other locked players, but get them for the next match day, and essentially it's like another wild card. And look, it really is done poorly. I'm not sure I'm the first to say that. It's just really been poorly worded, the rules. Players have still been added really late. It was just sort of obviously been left on the back burner, and they haven't really cared too much about it. But I'll still put forth my team today. We'll talk about some of the picks. I'm still going to, enjoy doing that side of it. But, really probably just enjoy the games itself. The World Cup, again, itself in Qatar is not something that anyone can really be totally behind. But, it's still the World Cup, and the football is what we want to see. So we'll still be watching that. But first of all, in goal, who I've chosen is Unai Simon. So the Spanish keeper here. I think they have a decent fixture against Costa Rica in match day 1. After that, I'll probably either look at transferring or can play my second keeper, who is Roche from Uruguay, who in match day 2 himself has Portugal. So it's not the greatest sort of double up here. I did have Diogo Costa himself from Portugal in that slot, but I don't mind the Spain defence and goalkeeper for the first fixture against Costa Rica. So not giving too much thought to the goalkeepers. I could probably spend a little bit less money there and just really sort of not care too much by going Costa, but I think I had the 0.5, so I decided to spend it. In defence, the first defender I have is Denzel Dumfries, who I think, against Senegal, they're going to struggle a bit with no Mane. He plays, almost like a winger. And they have Ecuador and obviously Qatar to finish off, so I think he's one we can hold throughout the group stage. Same can be said about Kieran Trippier, who should start, I believe, against Iran and then play the next 2 fixtures against USA and Wales, albeit if he's, keeps himself fit. But I think he is definitely the one in line to start there at right back. A guy that's been spoken about a lot is Mæhle from Denmark, who, again, like Dumfries, plays as like almost a winger in that Denmark formation with, 3 at the back, 5 at the back, but he gets right up the pitch. It's only 4.5 mil, so someone I just think just needs to be in your team. Is sort of a simple one. And then I've got actually 2 of the cheaper Croatian boys who have really good fixtures against Morocco and Canada, before obviously having Belgium in match day 3. But I'll put him in. Sosa is all but certain to play, not 100% now, but certain to play. I believe it's right back for them, and then Gvardiol, who is pretty much certain to play centre back for them. And as I said, hopefully they get double clean sheet, and I can take them both. But it's a little bit risky doubling up, but they're both really cheap, 3.5 and 4 mil. So really, don't mind spending that small amount of money on them. In midfield, we'll start with Rodrigo de Paul, who I think is just another really value pick in midfield at 5 mil. Since you get points for passes and tackles, key passes and tackles, that's something he can do really well. And then obviously can still chip in for a goal and assist here and there. I'm not fully expecting that from him, but it's something that I think for 5 mil with Argentina playing Saudi Arabia first, I think is a really good pick. Olsen, another one that's sort of been talked about quite a bit now, but I just think is another really good value pick at 6 mil. Is again probably, I'd say, 80%. To start for them in the front 3. So at 6 mil with their fixture Tunisia game week 1 or match day 1, I think is really good price as well. Bergwijn, I don't think this is too crazy of a midfield. You've probably seen a lot, but again, 7 mil, really cheap for a guy that's going to be playing up top for them against Senegal, and then from then on we'll continue to even once Depay is back, play up top. So I think they could both play there. They play with maybe Gakpo at sort of a center attacking midfield spot. So yeah, really like the value we get with him. And then a change I've made to my team is ditching Kevin De Bruyne and going to Di Maria, who I think is again another really good value pick. He is actually in 20% of sides now, which is quite a lot, and more than I thought. But he's obviously nailed on to start in Argentina's front three against Saudi Arabia as well, which just looks like a great matchup. So I think you probably guess what the rest of my team looks like, but it is Messi, who I just think is a no-brainer. It is Neymar, who again I just think is close to a no-brainer. A bit of a tougher group. It's got me wanting to put a midfielder in here. Who my other midfielder is Valverde, who I just think is one of the most informed players in world football at the moment, and Uruguay set to have a pretty decent tournament themselves. So we go to Neymar now, and then my last forward, I've got enough money for Harry Kane, and I do have 0.5, left over as well. But we will put on Harry Kane, and then we'll keep these three guys off actually as they sort of play later on in the week. I will look to captain Messi for his first fixture against Saudi Arabia, and then probably look at I thought about Bergwijn into Messi, which is still on the board for me, but maybe Kane or Trippier into Messi as well. But if I was just to stick with me, I think Messi's really it's going to be hard, say you go a Kane or someone earlier, and they get a return. Do you want to go to switch to Messi? Because he could obviously have multiple returns in that game. It's going to make it a little bit difficult. So that's why I was sort of thinking do Messi, and then maybe there's a Valverde backup against Korea. Not the greatest backup, or obviously Neymar against Serbia, I think is a good option as well. So I think I'm going to stick with Messi as the first captain, because you do only get to change it once now. That was a bit of a question mark with the rules. People were not sure. You can change one every day, but you can actually change it you can only change it once now, not multiple times, but it can be, within the same day or same day within a match day, however you want to word it. Look, it's been poorly done. The rules really have not been set out very well, but that's the way it's looking. And then, as I said, I'll probably stick with Messi and then maybe go someone else later. I'll just do it now, pretty much certain and set on doing Mbappe as my 12th man. So if I click that off and I go to here, what do I search? Confirm the booster, yeah. So once you confirm it, it's set in, but there we go. Mbappe is my 12th man now, up the top of my squad. You can't captain them, but I just think against Australia, look, my own country, but I think he's a good option now with Benzema ruled out as well. Going to be the main man. I mean, he already was, but just more set in stone now that he will be. And as far as the other boosters go, I think the other one that the power captain that sort of takes your best captaincy score no matter what as your captain that week, I think is probably better saved for the knockout stages when it becomes... look, we've got Messi against Saudi Arabia, we've got Kane against Iran, and Mbappe against Australia. It's a bit easier in the group stage. You think you're going to most likely get a good captaincy score. In the knockout stages, it might be a bit harder with really good nations against each other. You hit the power captain in maybe the quarterfinals or the semis, you're going to get the best captaincy option, no matter what in your team, and you'll probably have a few of the good players from each team. So whoever scores or returns, you should most likely own, and then you just obviously get the best score no matter what. So I think that's the strategy there. But yeah, let me know what you think. Anything wrong with my team? I do have 0.5 mil still in the bank. And I could possibly upgrade Simon to a 6 million keeper. Like an Allison, maybe like a Hugo Lloris. If we go by price, I actually don't think there is any that are that much, right? Or I must have it selected wrong here. But if we go keeper by price, yeah, not sure what's going on there, but I'm pretty sure there's a few 6 mil keepers knocking about. But anyway, that'll be me for this video. May make some changes, of course, late, but you do get 2, I think, changes even after the first game is kicked off during match day 1 to, maybe a laid out injury, whatnot, because the games are obviously spread across a few days. But that's me. That's my team. Let me know what you're thinking of, any issues with mine or any queries with mine. But that's the way I'm looking at it right now. just going to enjoy the World Cup for what it is. The football, it only comes around once every 4 years, even with all the stuff surrounding it. Still going to enjoy it and try to, albeit at some very early hours of the morning. But that's me. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Cheers. Got the mojo deals, we been tripping like the 80s. Pulling out the coupe at the lot.